Central banks are the backbone of the modern economic system. Their role in regulating monetary policy and ensuring financial stability is crucial to the functioning of economies around the world. In this video, we will explore the role of central banks in the economy, their objectives, functions, and their impact on the financial system. What are central banks? A central bank is an independent financial institution responsible for managing a country's monetary policy, issuing currency, and regulating the banking system. Central banks are typically government-owned but are designed to operate independently of political interference. They are responsible for maintaining financial stability, controlling inflation, and promoting economic growth. Objectives of central banks. The primary objective of central banks is to maintain price stability, which refers to keeping inflation low and stable. Inflation is the rate at which the general price level of goods and services increases over time. It is essential to keep inflation under control because it can erode the value of money and lead to uncertainty in the economy. Central banks typically aim for an inflation rate of around 2%, which they believe is the optimal level for achieving economic growth while maintaining price stability. In addition to maintaining price stability, central banks also have other objectives, such as promoting economic growth, maintaining financial stability, maintaining employment. Promoting economic growth. Central banks aim to create an environment that is conducive to economic growth by providing a stable financial system and access to credit. Maintaining financial stability. Central banks are responsible for maintaining the stability of the financial system, which includes overseeing the banking system, regulating financial markets, and providing liquidity during times of crisis. Maintaining employment. Central banks aim to support full employment by creating an environment that is conducive to job creation. Functions of central banks. To achieve their objectives, central banks perform a range of functions, including monetary policy, issuing currency, regulating financial institutions, providing lender of last resort, managing foreign exchange reserves. Central banks use a range of tools, such as interest rates, reserve requirements, and open market operations, to control the money supply and achieve their inflation targets. Issuing currency. Central banks are responsible for issuing and regulating the supply of currency in the economy. They are also responsible for the security of the currency and the prevention of counterfeiting. Regulating financial institutions. Central banks regulate banks and other financial institutions to ensure that they operate safely and soundly. They set rules and guidelines for banks to follow, such as capital requirements and risk management practices. Providing lender of last resort. In times of crisis, central banks provide liquidity to financial institutions that are facing financial difficulties. This helps to prevent the spread of financial instability and maintain the stability of the financial system. Managing foreign exchange reserves. Central banks manage a country's foreign exchange reserves, which are used to pay for imports, service external debt, and provide a buffer against external shocks. Impact of central banks on the economy. The role of central banks in the economy is significant. Their decisions on monetary policy have a direct impact on interest rates, which affect borrowing and lending decisions by individuals and businesses. Changes in interest rates can also impact exchange rates, which affect the value of a country's currency. Central banks also play a critical role in maintaining financial stability. During times of crisis, central banks provide liquidity to financial institutions, preventing the spread of financial instability and maintaining the stability of the financial system. This was particularly evident during the 2008 global financial crisis when central banks provided unprecedented levels of liquidity to financial institutions to prevent the collapse of the financial system. In addition to their role in maintaining financial stability, central banks also have an impact on the overall level of economic activity. By regulating the supply of money and credit, central banks can influence the level of economic growth and inflation. They do this by using interest rates, and reserve requirements to control the amount of money that is available for lending and borrowing. When the central bank lowers interest rates, it encourages borrowing and spending, which can stimulate economic growth. Conversely, when it raises interest rates, it discourages borrowing and spending, which can help to curb inflation but may also slow down economic growth. By adjusting reserve requirements, central banks can also influence the amount of money that banks have available to lend, which can further impact economic growth and inflation. Overall, the role of central banks in regulating the money supply and setting monetary policy is a critical tool for maintaining economic stability and promoting sustainable growth.